I'm looking forward to seeing you on Sunday evening at 5 o'clock for a Vespers service. We will gather in the back church parking lot, our main parking lot. We'll gather together for a time of prayer, for a time to be together, to bear one another's burdens, give thanks, for even in the midst of these difficult days, there is much for which we are grateful. Also want you to know that you'll be able to join this Vespers service through the Zoom platform, the way you've been logging in for worship and the way we're still logging in for worship. But we're committed to going forward to making sure that we always have our services available in some online platform. Now, everyone has their own practices. We've been in this for 6 months, which is really hard to believe, over 6 months actually, 6.5 months, I guess. Which means we haven't been together in person in that long, which is just hard to believe. But we know that everyone is adapted, and many people have different kinds of practices when they're mingling with the public now, when they're in a grocery store or outside with other people. And whatever you choose to do in those times, that's great. I'm sure you're being safe and trying to stop the spread of the virus. But when we're together, we have to covenant with each other and follow a strict set of guidelines so that we can keep each other safe, and not only each other, but our community. We have a responsibility as a church to not become a place of infection and spreading the virus. That's not at all what it means to love your neighbors, I can promise you that. And unfortunately, there have been churches across our country who have continued to meet in ways that are really unsafe, and we don't want to participate in that, because we believe that that's not what Christ commands us to do. So we put together some guidelines, and let me just start by framing those this way. There will be 2 ways in which you can enter the church parking lot where we will worship. And those will be the main entrance into the church parking lot, where most of you drive in on Sunday mornings from Packlet Street. You can also enter from the place where many of you drive out of the church parking lot, which is our driveway, the road between the church and the post office. So those 2 entrances will be the only way you can get into the church parking lot. We'll have the front steps blocked off. We'll have the steps blocked off coming from the post office area. We will have the gathering space has this nice walkway around it, but there's no handrail up now. That'll be blocked off. So please come in those 2 ways to the rear church parking lot. It'll be clearly marked. You will need to park elsewhere. So do not park in the rear church parking lot. Park on the street. There's plenty of street parking behind the bank, behind the post office. You can park at the Fine Arts Center. There's all kinds of places to park. If you need some help getting to the church parking lot, we have designated the Upper Activity Building parking lot as our shuttle service. So this is similar to how we were doing things when we were worshiping in the activity building. And we'll have a golf cart there. You can hop on the golf cart, and you'll be facing the opposite direction of the driver. If you remember, it's kind of a long golf cart. You'll sit on the back. They'll shuttle you over to the parking lot. When it goes back over to the activity building, that golf cart will be cleaned, the back of it, before the next person hops on there. So we want to make every effort available to get people to the church parking lot who want to be there for the service. And that's the other thing. If you don't want to come and gather in person at this time, please don't feel pressure to. There's no hierarchy here of those who want to be together in person and those who don't want. We're not going to play that game, right? We're going to be together for those who want to be there. For those who want to join us online, that's fine. Now, if you're not going to join us online or come together there, then we're just going to be sad that we're missing you. But those are the 2 ways that you can be with us, and there's no hierarchy there. Either of those ways are perfectly fine. I do also want you to know that while we are extremely excited about seeing all the construction and renovation, you will not be able to go inside the church building on Sunday evening. It'll be locked. There'll be no bathrooms available. The construction is getting close to being finished, but it's not finished yet, and so it would be hazardous for you to walk around in there. And I'm not even talking about the virus. There's just all kinds of construction stuff in there, and so we can't do that yet. So no bathrooms, no access to the church. The service will last between 30 and 40 minutes. We'll have some solos. We'll have time of prayer and scripture reading. I think it will be meaningful to do that in the same space with each other. Bring your own chair. We're not sitting out a bunch of chairs for folks. Bring your own chair. Now, if you don't have a chair that you can bring, you let me know, and I'll make sure that we have one with your name on it. You let me know if you need that help. But bring your own chair. Sit only with members of your household. I know some of you may be, some folks may be in your bubble, and that you're doing things with outside of church. But as a community, when we gather together, we believe it's really important that you sit only with your own household. And the back church parking lot it's big. So spread out. I know we talk about 6 feet between people and all that kind of stuff. It's no magic number. The further away from each other we are, the safer we are. I don't know, give a 10-foot circle between each other or something, and that way nobody is cramping up into somebody's space or any of those kinds of things. Just keep plenty of distance between yourselves. You'll also need to wear a mask when you worship with us, even outside. I know, it's outside, and many of us are doing things outside, and if we keep our distance from each other, you may not be wearing a mask, and I think that's probably just fine and safe. But with so many of us coming together, we think it's imperative that you wear a mask. We also think it's a good practice. It just helps people to see, look, our congregation is being responsible. We're doing everything we can do to meet safely as a group. It's good theology, I think, for us to do that. So wear a mask properly. I see all kinds of people like wearing them down here or wearing them under their nose. I haven't figured out exactly how those help very much. So cover your nose, cover your mouth. If you don't have a mask, we have plenty. We'll share one with you, or we'll give it to you. We don't want it back. We'll give it to you. This is what's going to be hard. We haven't seen each other in a long time, and you're going to want to hug. You're going to want to shake hands, but we can't do that. So please don't do that. Please keep plenty of distance and talk to folks at a distance. There will be a time when we can hug each other and shake hands, but it's not now. So please don't do that. These are not only opportunities for us to be together this first Sunday of October and the last Sunday of October, but in many ways, this is also kind of a test run here. This is to see how well that we can follow these guidelines. And I have no doubt that you can. If we had doubts that you could follow these, we wouldn't be doing this. But please, we don't want to have to tell people to put a mask on, or we don't have to tell people to back up. And we will have ushers at the entrances who will, give you some instructions and those kinds of things. But don't make us do that. We're all adults, and by your coming to the gathering on Sunday evening, what you're really doing is saying, I'll abide by these guidelines. And so I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. If you have any questions, concerns, especially if any of you have questions about riding the golf cart, let me know, because we want to make sure, especially for some of our seniors who may not have been able to join us online, we want to make sure that you're able to be there on Sunday and be comfortable. We want to do everything we can do to make that happen and make it happen safely. So I hope you have a great day. Look forward to seeing you on Sunday, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.